Hey everybody, Reilly Gill here. I'm here to tell some stories today, and I've been asked to share some of these by a nonprofit organization in Canada. It's called Their Opportunity. It's a minor sports charity in which they help and serve families that can't afford to put their kids into sport. And it's a charity that's near and dear to my heart. And my oldest brother actually runs the charity, and they've now supported, I think it's between 60 and 70,000 kids nationwide. And they have had this idea of running a campaign around just telling some stories about your favorite memories in sport, or around how sport has impacted you. And I really hope that this can gain some steam, and we hear all different kinds of stories over the next few weeks here as the campaign runs wild. And I'm really honored to be one of the people that can kick this off. And so for me, the first thing I think of is my parents. They struggled to make ends meet, and financially they just they weren't that stable, and they had four boys, and they ended up like making, I think, or they ended up like remortgaging their house. I think it was 5, 6, 7 times maybe, just to put us kids through sport. And that kind of set the standard for us as we have grown into men, and to fathers and parents ourselves, just around the selflessness of parenthood, and the lengths that you go through and to put your kid into sport, because it really means so much when a kid can have that community and have those friends and those relationships at a young age, and also to have coaches along the way to teach you valuable life lessons, and so that was a really cool way for my parents to give back to their kids. And I just love my parents for that. And it's definitely shaped me into who I am today. And so that's a really powerful story for me of being selfless, of being kind and generous with time and money. And not only did they put their kids through sport their whole lives, but our dad was the coach on many levels as well. So him being able to not only teach us life lessons at home, but also on the ice in hockey, or on the soccer field, or whatever it may be. So that was really cool growing up, and especially noticing or learning that later in life, that that's what my parents had to do to put us through sport. So that was really cool. Another great story for me, which I think has carried on, and I've drawn from this so many times, is it was one of my first hockey games. I think I was probably 4 or 5, something like that, in Timbits hockey, and my dad was the coach. And when you're that young, you don't really know the fundamentals of hockey, and as the play goes, you kind of just like chase the puck, and wherever the puck goes, that's where all the kids go. It's a big mashup of kids just trying to get that puck. And for me, growing up, I grew up as the youngest brother of 4, and there was lots of scraps in our household growing up. So when I heard my dad's voice from the ice as I was skating around, I was just lollygagging, but all I heard was, "Go fight for the puck, Reilly, go fight for the puck." And my initial reaction was to drop the gloves and go fight all these kids. And obviously it didn't go well, but it was also funny in the moment. There's a lot of people that were having a good time with it, because you're that young. You're not really hurting anyone anyway. And so anyways, I ended up fighting a bunch of people, but I got that puck. And that's carried through into my personal journey, and in life, and then also with my career. And I've always just kind of drawn on that story and that moment, because things aren't given to you in life. And especially professionally, it's like you got to go get what's yours. And And so that's just a a small story that I continue to draw on to this day, decades later, and I thought I would just share that. And so moving forward, I'm gonna tag a few people. I want to hear some of your stories, whether it was way back when you were 5 or when you were 10, 15, or even just last year. There's still lots of people our age still playing sport, and I want to hear some of those stories. I know the charity, their opportunity, wants to hear these stories, and they're hoping that this campaign can get some legs and sweep the country, even North America, as they raise money for all these families that can't afford to put their kids into sport. As many know, the importance of kids getting into these sports and into these communities at a young age is so important. And so let's hear those stories. I'm going to tag you guys below, or have someone else tag them for me. I'm not sure where this video is going to go, but let's hear those stories. Much love. Take care.